everybody can hear me? I have unmuted everybody. You should be able to speak until 7:30. Okay, I saw some questions here. Quiz question? No. Tak ada soalan bocor. I'm sorry. Yesterday, I mentioned something which was not on the slide because I happened to see the quiz questions and I saw that information was not on the slide. So I mentioned it. You all know that, right? It's the guru of Sanjaya. It was not mentioned on the slide. So I mentioned it. It's Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva. But I still saw somebody put Krishna.
But Mataji, there was another question.
Yeah, coming to that. Coming to that. Okay, so yeah, based on Ms. Apara's question, right? Who's the person translated Bhagavad Gita without putting his opinion? Remember, there was one picture. It was in the first two slides. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Sri Swami Srila Prabhupada. So he is the one. So, and I also made a point, made a note that in today's age, so many people, we have so many philosophers, they want to sell their ideas. So if they sell their own idea, would you buy? No. But if you sell that by saying, based on Bhagavad Gita, based on what Krishna said, so they interpret this, interpret that, tweak that, and they sell their philosophy. So that's why we want to establish that Srila Prabhupada has given the Bhagavad Gita as it is without any misinterpretation. Yes, he interpreted the meaning. Yes, he interpreted the explanation for our understanding, but not otherwise. There is no hidden motives, no self-interest or whatsoever. It's purely devotional, no professionalism or nothing at that sort. Okay. Yes, Miss Kajai. What else? Yeah, I saw answers like Sri Ramanujacharya. Did I mention about Sri Ramanujacharya yesterday? I did not. What else? Lord Chaitanya also no. Okay, I can start recording now. Yesterday I forgot. Oh, okay. It's 7:30 actually. So, but before I move on, what else I want to cover? The part on the 700 slokas, all of you got correct. Yeah, thank you for the feedbacks. I understand few of you mentioned about the network connection. So fingers crossed today. I hope everything is fine. The sky is dark. And so to manage the audio, we will have certain intervals to allow your muting and unmuting. So to do that, the thing is when the screen is on, I'm not able to see the mic settings. So I have asked Ms. Kajai to help me to do that. So for slokas, we have some volunteers and some slokas we don't have volunteers. So I will do that. So for slokas, I'll just give you a brief explanation. For sloka, whoever I have appointed will recite the full 4 lines. After that, I will take you line by line. So for this session, we will have everybody unmuted. Okay, and in between, I really like to ask questions in between to make sure that you are there, you are there. So pay attention because yesterday was a very light session. Today, we're going to go a little bit deep. Okay, and this chapter has 72 slokas. Okay, so we're going to cramp it in 1 hour. Okay, what else? And then as usual, we will open up for question and answer at the end. So I can start sharing screen now. We have 29 participants for now. If any time I find my bandwidth is low, I will hide my video. Okay, all right, I can share. So Ms. Kajai, take control of the mic. Okay, until the sloka recitation. Okay, so the first, as usual, this is the same sloka that we went through yesterday. Okay, let me just offer my obeisance to my Guru Maharaj. So, dear everyone, welcome. I welcome you to this course of Gita Gyan. Gyan means knowledge. Gita is song. This is song of God. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad is Bhagavan. Gita means song. So it's song of God. So I think everybody knows this. Hare Krishna, Saras Mataji. So I will go through the sloka. Devaki Nandana Krishna Gita Patena Tushyati Yathana Vedadanena Yajna Tita Vratadibihi. The son of Devaki, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows as much as he is satisfied by devotional recitation of the Gita. So here again, we are setting our mood in devotion to recite the Bhagavad Gita. So next, we will go to see our bosses here. I hope you remember their names. Can anybody put in the name in the chat box? Who is this? Was I muted just now?
Yes, Mataji, you were muted.
How? I did not do anything to my mic. Okay, you can hear now, right? Kajai?
Yes, can Mataji.
Okay, so I will go through the correct answers just now. Yes, it's right. Jagannath on the rightmost. The leftmost is Lord Baladev. In the middle, Subhatra, Maharani, Mother Subhatra, Subhatra Devi. Okay, Subhatra is Durga Devi. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm audible. I am recording. Kajai, can you see is it recording?
Yes, Mataji is recording.
Okay. Thank you, Masaras Mataji. Thank you for the reminder. So, okay, now I will recite this sloka. You can mute yourselves and you can recite at your side. Okay. You can follow the tune that I'm using. Did anybody practice this? You can put your comment on the chat box. Did you practice this using the audio I sent earlier? Okay, no worries. I will recite. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Miss Gandhi Mataji, Tamari Mataji, Prema Mataji. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I shall go. Maybe after 3-4 days, I will ask somebody to recite. It's okay, Bindu Mataji. Om Ajnanamirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chaksurunmilitum Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you for singing with me. Let us take blessings from our founder Acharya. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. This is the name. The person who given us Bhagavad Gita as it is without interpretation. So I understand there was a question on this, on Prabhupada yesterday. So congratulations for everybody who scored. Most of you scored 6/6, just 1 or 2 5/6. It's okay. I will go through that slide just to ensure that you get that points correctly. So this is one of it. The person who translated Bhagavad Gita as it is without interpretation, misinterpretation, is Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. So, and this program is a brainchild of one of the initiating gurus of ISKCON, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. The GBC stands for Governing Body Commission. The meaning of which mantra, Gandhi Mataji? Oh, the invocation prayers? Yes, I can provide you. Sure. I will put it in the group later. Just give me a reminder. Yeah, thanks. Governing Body Commission. So Governing Body Commission, for a simple understanding, they are like a cabinet. The cabinet that takes care of the whole worldwide ISKCON, because ISKCON is an international organization. So just like to manage the Malaysian government and the people, we have a cabinet, we have PM, we have so many ministers. So similarly, the Governing Body Commission governs the whole ISKCON international. So we have healthcare, welfare, preaching, book distribution, even including legal, education, especially education. So I think I pretty much covered the main branches of it. Yeah, so that's GBC. He's one of the member and he's also initiating spiritual master. Okay, moving on. I have assigned this sloka to somebody. Let me see, did I write it down? Prema Mataji, are you there? Prema Mataji? Kajai Mataji, you can unmute Mataji. Prema Mataji, if you are there, just drop a line for us.
Yeah. Yep. Can you hear me now?
Yes, can.
Okay. So shall I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Gita Danyayana Shilashya Pranayama Parashyacha Naiva Shantihi Papani Purva Janma Krtani Cha.
Translation.
If one reads Bhagavad Gita very sincerely and with all seriousness, then by the grace of the Lord, the reactions of his past misdeeds will not act upon him.
Yes, thank you very much. You did it very well. Congratulations. So you can see how
Thank
wonderful. Yeah, you're welcome. How wonderful this kid is reading Bhagavad Gita. So, like I mentioned, from the day one, we do not read Bhagavad Gita like how we read novels, fictions, non-fiction, encyclopedias. So we need to scrutinizingly study, like what we are doing now. We are actually doing a scrutinizing study. We are learning. We are not reading, we are learning. Learning the meaning, the applications, and all that. So here in our ISKCON movement, we enroll our children to our Sunday classes. It's called Gokul Garden, right, from 5 years old. So any point of time, anybody, even new friends can just come in and enroll your children according to their age group. We have 5 to 7, 8 to 9, 10 to 12. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so we are moving into chapter 2. This is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. That is why this chapter is called Contents of Gita Summarized. Okay, till now you would have noticed that Krishna has not spoken a word. Now he's going to speak very important, he's going to give us very important messages. Basically, there are two big chapters in Gita. Chapter 2, which is this. Chapter 2 is another name for this is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means analytical study of the soul and the body. Soul and body, two different things. And then there is chapter 18, the last chapter. Okay, whatever we see in chapter 2, you will notice that I will say I will cover this in the next chapter, subsequent chapter, in later chapters, because this chapter 2, you have to look at it as a trailer of the whole Bhagavad Gita. That's why this chapter is the longest. It has 72 slokas. But most of the subject matter about soul, we will find it here. Other than that, there are branches of what is inside this chapter 2. We will be elaborating in later chapters. Okay, now I want to run a rapid quiz of what we learned yesterday. Okay, I understand you did quiz yesterday, but let's see whether you can do this. So adjust your screen and put your chat box at the side, and you need to be born. You need to be born. I'm reading Jayanti Mataji's message. You need to key in your answers. So those who want to seek your children help, you can go ahead. Okay, everybody ready? Can I see you're ready in the chat box? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, okay, ready? Yeah. All right. Number 1, very easy, very easy. Yeah? Total slokas in Bhagavad Gita. Nice. Okay. All right. Nice. This part I noticed all of you scored correct, but I noticed some of you did not do the quiz. Could you please do this quiz any time of the day? I think it's still open, and then later on for chapter 2 as well. Okay. Okay. Next question. Number of speakers. Nice. Next question. Who donated the chariot to Arjuna? You're right. Saras Mataji, Jayanti Mataji, Agni Dev. Yes, very good. Next, we will have to go fast. Agni Dev. Yes, you're right. Everybody is right. Moving to conch shells. There are 3 names for the conch shells mentioned. Can I have the conch shell name of Krishna? Panchajanya, correct? Panchajanya, yes, correct, Bindu Mataji. Right, correct. Krishna, Panchajanyam, very good. Panchajanyam Rishikesho, remember? Yes, next. Arjuna. Arjuna's conch shell. Devadatta, very good. Saras Mataji, Shobita Mataji, Pushpa Mataji, Tamari Mataji, Bindu Mataji. Super. Fantastic. Finally, Bhima's conch shell. Jayanti Mataji knew. Poundra. Very good. Thank you so much, everybody. Now, we go to the meaning of the names. Panchajanya Rishikesha, the meaning of Rishikesh. Controller of Lord of senses, correct. Lord of senses, controller of senses. Yes, you got that. Controller of senses. Consciousness, we will come to that. We are in that chapter now. Controller of senses. Next. What caused Arjuna to feel all the symptoms that he felt? What is the cause? I'm not asking the symptoms. I'm not asking the reasons. I'm asking what caused Arjuna to feel all this. Attachment. SASD is reason. Conflict. Why? What actually led to that? Led to all this? Seeing his gurus. Okay, you are there, but you haven't hit that, that bullseye. Attachment. Seeing his gurus, part of it. Compassion for battle was with family. Yeah, you're almost there, Miss Bindu Mataji. Relatives, yes, Shabita Mataji. Yes, because seeing relatives, that's why he doesn't want to fight. Looking at his gurus and family, yes, correct. He doesn't want to fight them. And moving on to the reasons. Just put one, each person also will do. What are the reasons? We have 5 reasons, isn't it? Bring it on, all the reasons. Indecision, compassion, SASD, all 5. Yes, destruction of family, indecision, no enjoyment. Simple, what's simple? Simple, fear of simple reactions. Destruction, indecision. So did we cover all 5? I saw compassion, enjoyment, simple reactions, destruction. Yes. Okay, we have covered. So yesterday we covered 4. We will look at the 5th one. What are the symptoms? Any symptoms? So how many symptoms are there? No, not 5. 10. Yes, 10. So 10 symptoms and 5 reasons. All right. Okay, just shoot all the, yes. Skin is burning. Yes, irritation. Bow sleeping, mouth drying, limbs of body are quivering, remember? Mouth is drying up. My whole body is trembling. Has anybody said trembling yet? Bow sleeping. Hair. Anybody mention about hair? Hair stand. All right. Gandiva bow rise, skin is burning. I am unable to. I'm forgetting. Mine is reeling. Forgetting himself. It's not unable to hold the bow. The bow is slipping and he's unable to stand here any longer. Yes. Yes, unable to stand here any longer. Unable to stand any longer. Forgetting himself, mind is reeling. I see only cause of one more. One more, the 10th cause of misfortune. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, thank you, Miss Paramis Mataji. Nice. All right. Okay, so you can give rest for your fingers. All right. So warm up is done. Anyway, we have just done the stretching, the basic stretching. We just did some energizer. So now let's get to the serious business. Chapter 1. Okay. Has anybody done experiments? What was the first thing that you have to establish before you perform an experiment? Okay, I give you another clue. If you want to solve a problem, what is the first thing that you need to do? Theory. See the problem. Okay, you are there. Preparation, hypothesis, background. Oh, this one is much later. First identify the problem. Yes, Bimala Mataji, you are that. Okay, what do you call that? Problem? That's a term, right? When you do an abstract and then you do the work paper. Problem statement. Yes, you're right. Shobha Mataji, thank you. Problem definition. So what has happened in chapter 1 is problem definition. Arjuna misidentified himself of body with soul. Okay? Identify the cause of the problem. Yes, that is definition of problem. The first step of a problem solving is definition of problem. So Arjuna is having a problem. His problem is he doesn't want to fight because he felt compassionate towards his relatives. Why? Because he is doing a misidentification of body and soul, which is why we are in chapter 2. So if you see, all this problem solving is the first step in any of your science experiment, in your critical thinking, your design thinking, problem solving. We need to know this first, okay? If you're going to somebody, I have this issue. So what is your problem actually? You have to identify the problem. And then that is the symptom of the problems. Okay, the reasons are the SSD. So right now, everything is on your fingertips already, isn't it? The reason is basically he does not want to perform the duty of Kshatriya. He's a Kshatriya. So he's having a perplexities. So we have perplexities at every step. Even among wise choices, we have wisest choice. We still have a good and bad choices. You want to make decision. So the scripture says, who is the man? Who is the man in material perplexities? So there's this Upanishad defines a problematic man. So there is a definition also. It is he who does not understand the problems of life. If you do not find your problem, you'll never make next step because you don't know. You need to understand. You need to put in perspective. This is your problem. You can actually apply this in your daily life. I'm sure you will be resonating inside yourself, within yourself, that yes, you need to find out what is the problem. Sometimes a child come crying to you, simply crying. Yeah, what is it? What is the problem? You want to know what is the problem, right? He is a miserly man. Also, the Upanishad further mentions he's a miserly man who does not solve the problems of life as a human, and who thus quits this world like the cats and dogs without understanding the signs of self-realization. Because you are facing the problem. You know, sometimes you say, come take a bird eye view, then you will know what is your problem. So this is how it will take you, on this journey. Okay, and also another situation that Arjuna is facing, that material qualifications are insufficient to solve perplexities of life. You want to buy something, you want money, and then you need to increase your commitment, you want more money. You will never, you'll try to make so much of arrangement to solve one problem, but you need to make more arrangement to manage more things. So like this, it will go on and on and on. And at this point, Arjuna has all qualification, all material qualification. If you have learned Mahabharata, they have gone to all kinds of trainings, studies, but all this did not solve his problem. Okay, so he's telling all this problem. He's having symptoms, and he's talking about the SSD. Okay. Oh yeah, we need to recite the sloka. We have Prema Mataji again. Kajai Mataji, Prema Mataji will recite now, and she will also do the translation.
Can you hear me, Mataji?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, I'll start reciting, yeah?
Yes.
Prapanyadosho Swabhava Gacchami Tvam Dharma Shambhodacetaha Yashreyasanashti Bruhi Tanme Shishe Seham Shadimam Tvam Pramannam.
Beautiful.
So I'll read the continuation.
Translation. Yes.
Now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple and soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me.
Prema Mataji, I must say you sang it very well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Okay, so in this chapter 2, we will see the problem's last reason. We have covered 4. We are at the last reason. I is indecision. So we have a sloka recitation by Prema Mataji. Thank you so much. Arjuna said he won't fight. He was indecisive because he couldn't make a choice. So we all, like I mentioned earlier, we face indecisiveness in life. My experience, I have been being indecisive. Uh, at a point where you can weigh the disadvantages versus advantages, but you just simply lost a dilemma. You can't choose. If you choose this, you will lose this. If you choose that, you lose that. Something like that. So you cannot make a decision. So at that point of time, I turned to somebody who are more experienced, who can help me to make a decision. So when we become indecisive, Arjuna here, we can follow the footsteps of Arjuna. He is turning to Krishna to ask for guidance. So we turn to gurus if we have, or on daily lives, we turn to teachers, mentors, bosses. Sometimes we turn to our husband, isn't it? Sometimes they give unbiased opinion. Sometimes you just want a fresh idea. We just want to decide because you don't want to be biased towards your own self. So somebody neutral has to give you the guidance. So note again a quality of a leader here. Yesterday I said, what was the quality? Could you put in the chat box? What Krishna is actually displaying? What quality is that? Anybody remembers? There's a point I made yesterday. As a leader, what actually Krishna is showing? He has not spoken a word, that is the clue. But what quality does it show? Not confidence. How about a good leader? What does a good leader do? No, not observer, deep thinker. Ability to listen, Vimala Mataji, yes, very good. Yes, a good leader will listen to you, okay? So any good speaker should be a good listener first. How are we to speak when we never listen in the first place? You know, sometimes to solve half of the problem, I give you a tips, yeah? We ask the complainant, somebody comes to you, complain. You know what do you ask? Do you want comfort or solution? Actually, can you think you actually solve half of your effort? You can, you know, sometimes they just come and whine, but they just want comfort from you. But sometimes they want solution. So sometimes we listen to react, we listen to respond, and we quickly jump into solution. You should do this, you should do that, you should do that. Oh no, you're not right. You don't be emotional. You know, we like to jump into conclusion. But what you need to do is maybe first of all you need to filter. Do you want comfort or solution? You know, sometimes it happens with your own children, isn't it? Sometimes they just want to whine at you. They just want you to hug them and just comfort them. They don't want you to solve their problem. They just want you to be there for them. So here, Arjuna is making it clear. Look at the last line, yeah? Now I am your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Look at the last line. Please instruct me. He did not say, please comfort me. He said, please instruct me. I am surrendering as a disciple. Now you tell me what to do. Arjuna is saying, I have a karpanya dosha. Karpanya dosha means miserly weakness. What is miserliness? Miserliness means you have something, but you don't know how to utilize it to the best, wisely. So that is his weakness. Karpanya dosha pahata swabhava. Miss Prema sang it very nicely. Karpanya dosha pahata swabhava. So you can keep singing this. It's very nice. It's different from the other verses that we sang earlier. Those have 8 syllables. This is 11 syllables. I think it's a bit too much detail. I'm sorry, but I like this tune. Okay. So with this, you can see that Arjuna is no longer seeing Krishna as friend. You know what friends do when they advise each other? They debate. They get into debate. So Arjuna is taking a position as a student and accepting Krishna as a guru. With the guru, you do not debate. You do not debate because you have so much reverence. You revere them so much, you do not debate. The relationship now at this point is changing from friend to charioteer. I mean, it changed from friend to charioteer. Krishna became a servant of Arjuna because of that friendship, also because of the vow that he took that he should not fight. Friend to charioteer to guru, right? So when, sorry. Okay, so when we read Bhagavad Gita, again and again, I was stressing this point, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we must be ready to accept a guide. So here, Arjuna is accepting Krishna as his spiritual master. So therefore, we also must accept Krishna as our spiritual master. He's giving us instruction throughout this Bhagavad Gita. And thus, we can understand his instructions. The actual instruction starts here. right when Arjuna has surrendered and accepted as guru. So until then, Krishna was listening. Okay, go on, pour your heart out, pour your heart out. Actually, this is what happens with counseling as well, right? They will tell I wouldn't call them a patient, the client. They will talk and talk, let them pour out. They will listen. So that's good. It's a good listening. You should develop that good listening habit. So here a little bit about importance of guru. Why guru? I say, right, there are no more friendly talks here onward. No more friendly talks, no debates. Talks between guru and disciples are serious. So why we need guru? We have list of reasons, but we will not go into that because we have our targets for today. Okay, we will move on to the next slide. Now, Krishna is explaining the difference between the character. He starts explaining character about soul, the difference between soul and body. So I have Yashoda Mai Mataji to recite the sloka. Yashoda Mai Mataji, what's your name on the... You're able to find her, Kajai Mataji? You can unmute Mataji.
Yeah, she's unmuted.
Okay, Yashoda Mai Mataji, you can carry on.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Tehi nosmin yata tehi kaumaram yavaram jara tata dehantara pratil ilastatra namuyati.
Translation.
As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change.
Thank you, Yashoda Mai Mataji. You're worried, you did well. Okay. As the embodied soul, the soul with the body. So that's what you call embodied soul. Continuously passes in this body. So I have questions to you all. What happens when someone dies? You know, when somebody say, oh, he's gone, he's no more there, he's gone. But, you know, but the body is still there. What do you understand from here? You can put in your chat box. What is your understanding when somebody dies and then somebody says, he's gone, but the body is there. So what is gone? The soul leaves the body, the soul, the Atma. Nice, okay. So everybody knows? Yes. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes, the soul left the body. Right, so first thing first, Krishna is saying, you are not the body. Okay, this is the first rule. Okay, first you need to know that you're not the body, you are the soul. So that is the study, the Sankhya Yoga. Another name for this chapter 2 is Sankhya Yoga, the study of body and soul. Krishna, Jiva, soul, Atma. Yes, same. Yes, okay. So all correct. Yes, soul, less love, body. So where did I leave? Okay. Now, do you remember when you were small, the body has changed? You were your baby this small, and then later you grow up, and then you grew into adolescent, adult, and then we age. Your future has completely changed. You're totally a changed person. But what actually remained in you as you? So the soul stayed fixed in your body. So that is the first line. Okay, this translation has 2 lines. If you notice, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul, okay, we will stop there. Now, what happens when you grow old and the body is no longer serving the soul? The soul leaves the body and goes to another body. So like this, the soul keeps moving from body to another body to another body. If you look at the picture, there are 3 pictures there. 2 pictures are pretty much similar. From, you can see the cycle from baby to boy to youth, adult, old age, and then he dwindles and dies. And then the cycle continues, Okay, it's very easy to understand, right? Okay, so this is important point here. I don't know what's going to come out in your quiz, but I would think this is a very important point, that you're not the body. A sober person is not bewildered. Sober person means a person who is steady-minded, okay? This is an important instruction to take home today, okay? All right, so we will look at the other photo, the man with the cage and the parrot. So one day, this man, he got himself a parrot. The parrot was flying everywhere. So he wanted to contain the bird in a cage. So he got a nice golden cage. And then every day he wipes the cage, keep it clean. He make it shine, every 2 hours he wipes. Okay, he takes care of the cage very beautifully. Okay, he kept wiping it regularly, but after some days, he saw that the parrot has died. So what happened? What do you think that happened? Can I have 1 or 2 answers in the chat? He took care of the cage very well, but the parrot died eventually. Yeah, why the bird died? What happened? Deprived of freedom? But we do have birds in cage living like so long, right? Sarus Mataji, you need to take care of the bird. Yeah, didn't feed it, didn't take care of the bird. All things die. Yeah, eventually they die. Yes, maybe after a couple of days. The bird was not taken care. The bird was not fed. What he was doing is he was giving nice preparation for the cage only. He took time to take care of the cage, but not the parrot. Therefore, here our body is the cage. Our soul is the parrot. So this is the analogy. Yeah, the soul has to leave the body when time comes eventually. But in this picture, he took care of the cage very well. But after a few days, the bird died. So that is the question. Okay, so not nourishing the soul with what it needs is just like not feeding the stomach. You put on nice garments on your body, decorations. Yes, you're right, Tamare Mataji. Feed the soul. Wow, you're very good already. So therefore, we need to nourish the soul, not just decorating the body. So this is an example to establish that we are not the body, we are the soul. Okay, of course, we need to take care of our body as well because the body is serving the soul, right? Okay, so thank you to Yashodamai Mataji for the recitation. We go to the next important sloka. Remember, there are 72 slokas in chapter 2, but we have only picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 slokas. All right. See the photo. Can you put in the chat box? Tell me what is happening. Look at the picture. The boy is he's got some new clothes and is putting on some new shirt, I think. And then there's another guy with the t-shirt, and another photo, he's got, I don't know, jacket on. What's happening here? These 2 pictures, how do you relate? The third one, I will come to that later. Self-styling, changing the body like clothes. Yes, Leela Mataji. Not the clothes that make the man. Wow, yes. Change of clothes. Temporary, he's beautifying himself. Yes, second picture has been edited. Decorated. Trying to look physically good. Right. So you have some has hit the bullseye. So actually, we are changing body just like we are changing clothes. When your body becomes old or you don't like it, or whether it's out of fashion, you just give it away or you discard it. Do you cry? Oh, my dress. Sometimes we do have attachment, but in exceptional cases. But in general, do we cry? Do we lament over our clothes? No, isn't it? We give it away. So similarly, the soul can go to any species of life, from this body to another body. The soul keep accepting new material body. So you may ask, so how long we are going to go on like this? How many lives, how many bodies we're going to change? So do you think your soul only goes to human? What do you think? The soul goes from, yes, no, correct. Anybody has a different answer? Based on karma, many forms. Okay, Viji Mataji, I have a question for you. How many forms are there? When I say forms, it's species of life. Okay, not sure. That's okay. So I am not able to extract the exact source of the information, but Jayanti Mataji, if you know, you can help me here. Is actually 8.4 million species of life, not 8.4 million living entities. Species like monkey has how many species? Cow, how many species? Birds, how many species? Even human, the scripture mentioned there are 4,000 species, right? We are continuously, our soul continuously jumping from one body to another body throughout this, in the cycle, 8.46 million, 8.4 or 8.6 million species of life. That's a lot. That's a lot to go through. So that's where you see that third picture. Okay. This is a very interesting topic, but I cannot go in, you know, because the soul evolved from this body, from aquatic to, you know, in between the land and water, and then becomes human, and then it goes down again. How? Somebody has mentioned earlier. Tamarai Mataji said it's based on karma. Okay, thank you, Mataji. 8.4 million species of life. Would you know from which scripture? Just put on the chat box, Mataji. I think somebody might be interested to read up on that. But actually, randomly you put a Google search, you will find between 8.4, 8.6. But our scriptures, timeless scriptures have already mentioned this information, but we can find this Google like now only, right? Okay, so just like dress, we also change cars. We want to change model to fit our status, our income ability, our convenience. Sudah Rosa, we have to change. So we don't really lament on the car, except for some exceptional cases. Like I say, you have sentimental value. Otherwise, you don't lament over a car that you are changing, because you find a new model to fit your status, our convenience, and so on and so forth. So these are some explanations from examples. The soul is changing bodies. It remains, however, it remains fixed in this body, but it moves on to another body at death. Okay, after the destruction of the body, it moves on to other bodies. So at this point, is anyone wondering, how do you know what birth or what body you are going to get the next? Are you like wondering already, oh my god, so many species of life, which birth I'm going to get next? Kasthuri Mataji, tell me. Anybody wondering like that? Or you already know? Okay, at this point of time, I'm not sure if you're all very familiar with the, yes, wondering, thank you for that. According to karma, yes. Before I go on to that, I want to bring this point. If you know Siva Puranam, if you are Lord Shiva's worshippers, you would have come across Shiva Puranam. So there's a line there. Yes, Vijay Mataji. You know that line? Sorry for those non-Tamil speaking, but I just want to tell this for the benefit of the Tamil speakers here. There's a line say Pullagi, Puruvai, Marmagi, all that, right, Vijay Mataji? So it's already mentioned the soul goes through. Yeah, that's right, Shobita Mataji. Thank you. Yeah. So that's how the soul moves on. So it's not only mentioned in Bhagavad Gita that the soul moves from body to body. We have other scriptures also agreeing to that, right? So that means this is a universal truth. But some people say, I mean, the very crude thing people would say, the human does not have soul. Or sometimes they say, no, only humans have soul. Animals do not have soul. You know, because we have seen astral travel, all this. So, you know, people goes out and come back in, these subtle bodies. Inside the subtle body, there is soul. I'm not going too high. So, okay, yeah, the next question is, so Bhagavad Gita explains that in coming chapter, what kind of birth you can get, what kind of body you're going to get, how are you going to get, and how our births are based on our actions in life. In this life, what if I do what kind of action, I get this kind of body. If I do that kind of action, what kind of body would I get? If I leave my body at this hour, what body I'm going to get? You know, all these are explained later. So please stay on until the end of the course to see these answers unleashing. Okay. So yes, so we have, okay, now we're coming to a point of this slide. So please remember the earlier slide. What was the comment? What was the point? Identify body from soul. What was the point here? That you're not the body. A sober person is not bewildered. This is an important instruction. So this is the point of this sloka, is very important. This is like ABC slokas when we have children coming to the temple, right? These are one of the basic sloka that they learn. Body, soul, difference, okay? Just remember the parrot, I think you'll do good. Next, the point here is the body is different from soul. Yes, body changes, soul doesn't. So we digest that first. Take a moment to digest these two slides because we're going to go on to know this Mr. Soul more. We're going to go into seeing him more. Okay. Okay, I think I will close my video if my sound is very slow. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you, Mataji. So yes, thank you so much for alerting me. Yesterday, I received a comment from a friend saying that you guys are so wonderful that you're alerting me and telling me where I've gone MIA. Thank you so much. So the point in this in this slide is body is different from soul. Body changes, soul doesn't. So we got that right. Okay, now we're going to go on to. So I already introduced you. Okay, that is this Mr. Soul. Mr. Soul does this. He's different from this. And then he travels from here to here. Now we want to know this Mr. Soul is what his character. Is he handsome, good looking? Is he tall, fat, thin? We want to see that, right? We go on. This is a compilation of a few slokas, okay? But these slokas explaining the characteristics of soul, okay? I will go one by one. The soul can never be cut to pieces by any weapon. You cannot cut them like how you cut vegetable. Nor burnt by fire. You cannot burn it. Nor moistened by water. Water resistant. Nor withered by the wind. The soul stays in your body. When there is a storm, the soul doesn't jump out of your body to go to another body. It doesn't. It stays fixed, okay, until the time comes. Next, the individual soul is unbreakable. Why am I putting this picture slowly? I want you to remember this. It's waterproof, fireproof, cutting proof, or windproof, whatever. Even raincoat is waterproof. You can still cut it. Anything that's fire resistant, you can break it. Water resistant, what else? You can still cut it. Is there such thing as weapon proof? I don't think so. Okay, and then unbreakable, that I don't think anything that's unbreakable. Okay, insoluble, you don't dissolve the soul. It can be neither burned or dried. He's everlasting, present everywhere, unchangeable, immovable. Like I mentioned earlier, it stays inside your body. All right, you grow from baby to boyhood to youthhood to old age. It stays immovable and eternally the same. It doesn't change. Suddenly big, suddenly small. We want to see the size now. It is said that the soul is invisible. You cannot use your microscope to look at it. It's too small. And how small is this soul? Anybody would like to take a guess how small a soul can be? A soul is. The scripture has given a very accurate description of the dimension of the soul. But anybody would like to take a guess how small is the soul? Can fit an ant? Of course, the ant is a living being, so it can go in. How small? A dot of light, a breath. I can't visualize a breath. Miss Indra has done the homework. So you take tip of the hair, you cut into 100 pieces, and that one tip from that 100 pieces, you cut again to 100 pieces. Do you get 1/10,000? That's how small the soul is. But the soul And the soul generates energy throughout your body. It generates the energy in an ant, and also something as big as elephant. So the soul is really powerful, but it's covered with our body. Inconceivable. So sometimes you think, how 1/10,000? I can't imagine it. It's so inconceivable from my limited mind. So that's inconceivable and immutable. You cannot do anything to change it. Knowing this, you should not grieve for the body. Now Krishna is making a conclusion here. The soul cannot be changed no matter what you do. So you should not grieve for the body because the soul passes on. Okay, so we have done. I'm coming to that, Tamare Mataji. Okay, so we have covered the. No worries. I welcome this kind of questions because then I will know where's your understanding, because I got a feedback yesterday. Somebody said it's interesting, but a lot of it I don't understand. So that's what I thought. Yeah, I should welcome this kind of basic questions. I mean, there's nothing basic here. We are here to learn. I can learn from you too. And I can go a bit slower if I know that you are losing me, or otherwise I will go on thinking that you all know this subject matter. So I'm going to go on. Now, if the soul passing from body to body, it should bring along something, isn't it? What do you call that? I want that one word. Who can give me that one word? Actually, we are running late, so I hope nobody is rushing. Hare Krishna. Now, can you hear me now? No, I was just saying, I hope nobody is rushing because we are running a little bit late, because it's very deep subject. I don't want to go on surface and you don't understand, right? Now, can you transmigrating? Yes, that's one word. What else? Thank you, Prema Mataji. Really appreciate that. Thank you, Ajita Mataji. Could you tell me that one word, the soul going from one body to another body? We will come to that karma. I will tell you why later. Transition, transmigration, transform, rebirth, almost there. Reincarnation, yay! I wish, you are in front of me and then I can just give you one sweet, because I do that with my children in the classes. Yes, reincarnation. Now, so there is evidence that the soul brings along some remembrance, not in all circumstances, some remembrance to the next body. We have evidence. The evidence is, if you randomly Google, you will find a lot. If you look at the pictures at the site here, there are so many books here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books are there. These are the real life reincarnation stories. But one prominent one that we have selected here is Sukla. Sukla is a girl. She was little more than 5. The father is Sri Sen Gupta. So if you read her story, you can Google. You read her story, she will remember certain things. I don't remember what actually triggered her, but she seemed to remember. I'm actually what happened. She recalled her hometown in her previous birth. So people were thinking that she's imagining. She's children, right? They have imagination, so they actually. They did not bother her for some time, but it became very incessant. She became very incessant, and she gave very detailed information of the certain places, certain people that she knew. So then the family thought, okay, let's take her to this place. And they went to this place, to Batpara. When they arrived, Sukla took the lead. She brought them straight to the house of Sri Amrita Lal Chakravarti, her father-in-law from her past life. Then she further recognized her mother-in-law, brothers-in-law, her husband, her daughter, and she even called them by their names and nicknames. So they would keep testing her. They kept testing her like, okay, how do we know? How do we know? Probably she just playing a guessing game. But when that was the first time she went to her previous village, and she can immediately recognize, oh, this building was here, now it's not there. And then she remembered also she hidden some money in under her bed or something. And then she quickly ran up and she saw the money is not there. And then she asked the husband, where's the money? I'd taken it out to he spent it. So So it became evident that she actually reincarnated to the into a small girl's body, and she still had her previous husband and children all there. So it's very interesting. You can read on. So this is one of the evidence that we can give about reincarnation, because we have people of some faith that they don't believe in reincarnation. But I mean, I think time has changed. There are evidences, so they can refer to that. Okay, interesting. So we can move on to Mr. Soul again. Back to Mr. Soul. Okay, so we have heard the characteristics of the soul, all those that you can have: fireproof, waterproof, breaking proof, all that proof. Now that we know that we are the soul, we should know how to work. Okay, now I know I'm not the body, I'm the soul. So what do I do now? So how does it benefit me? So you need to know what is recommended for you, what you meant to do. But Arjuna is saying, I will not work. He say he's not going to work because he's identifying his relatives as body. I'm going to destroy their body. But Krishna is saying, no, you work. You're going to only destroy their body, not their soul. Okay. So you have heard this sloka for sure. Krishna is not saying don't do your duty. So we will read this sloka. I'm not sure, did I give this to anybody? Yeah, Viji Mataji. Viji Mataji.
Can you hear me?
Yes, with the translation, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. Karmani evadhikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbhur ma te sankostva karmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty.
Thank you, Viji Mataji. It was perfect. You recited very nicely.
Thank
Actually,
you.
all of you can recite. Don't be shy. So tomorrow I want to see more names. Yeah. Okay. Now Krishna is telling here, you have right to perform your prescribed duty. He did not say, don't do your duty. I will take care of you. Okay. And now more questions. Oh, you have right to perform your duties. Krishna saying, you must do your duty. Do not sit thinking there will be some durian runto. He never says sit and pray. I will give you everything. He did not say that too. So do your duty. Your duty is as a Kshatriya. You need to go kill the bad guys. That's what he's saying. But Arjuna is being very nice and compassionate. No, I don't want to do that. But Krishna said, no, I'm instructing you. You go and kill them. They are meant to be dead. Okay, so why? Arjuna is a householder. I think I mentioned this in yesterday's class or the day before. Krishna did not give Bhagavad Gita to a sage or some hermit or saint. Uh, he gave this instruction to a householder just like you and me and everybody here, whether we are married or not married, we have children or no children, but we all have some duties in our daily life. Somehow or other, we always have some duties to do. So we cannot renounce everything and just sit and pray, or Arjuna is a householder, he's a father, he's a brother, he's a cousin, his friend, he's got his duties. So, but the only difference here is Krishna is saying, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action. So why he's saying, do not feel that you can demand for the fruits. You are not entitled to the fruits of action, because he wants you to work for him. Do your duty knowing that you are the soul. You perform your work in God consciousness. So how to do that? We have to do that in proper consciousness. So this, like I say, we will move on to other chapters. We will dive deeper into that. How do we actually perform our activities in God's consciousness without expecting results for ourselves? We have to do our duty. So you're actually detaching yourself from the result. It actually saves you from a lot of frustration. You just have to do your duty. You're a mother, you for example, you do your duty, you feed your children and everything. But if they do not, for example, if they grow up and they forget you, touch wood, you can't do anything, isn't it? You have given your best. So that's a very simple example. So don't run away from the work. Oh, if I do this, still gonna run away. I'm not going to do this. No, Krishna doesn't encourage that. He's telling, don't run away from the work. You don't worry about the result. Who and what is responsible, that we will see, that we will touch that in 17th chapter. So another simple example is, you can write your exam. You study your best. You study, you do the memorizing, you work so hard, do your assignments and so on. But after you do your exam, do you have a control on the result? You just let it be, right? So it's hard to do that, but actually by worrying about the result, it's not going to take us anywhere. We cannot worry too much about the result. That is what Krishna is saying. Okay, we have done our best. We do our duty and we do it our best. So never consider yourself, the second line, never consider yourself the cost of the result of your activities. Oh, I did it, that's why it happened. You're not taking the credit for yourself. And never be attached to not doing your duty. Means you are simply, you're not doing your duty. You don't want to do your duty. We cannot do that, isn't it? Okay, so we move on. I don't want to keep you all too long. Okay, for this I did not get a volunteer, so I will read it. Durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga. Did I? Miss Ajita, did I assign this verse to you? I remember it was pretty last minute. Are you ready? Ajita, Miss Ajita.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Did I assign
Yeah,
that to you, right? I did, right? Okay, sorry.
No, I was really
Okay,
happy to
come
have
on.
you sing it. It's okay.
Oh, can I escape?
Okay. All right. I'll start now. Durena hyavaram karma buddhi yoga dhananjaya buddhav saranam avijja kripanam palahetavaha. Shall I continue?
Yes, translation.
O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service, and in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers.
Okay, thank you so much. You two did very well. Okay, so here Krishna is saying, avoid abominable activities. Avoid abominable activities. We have the upcoming chapters will talk about what are these abominable activities. There are demonic activities and non-demonic activities. We'll look at that chapter, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so we must work as a service to Krishna. So how we avoid this, abominable, right? Abominable means bad things, bad activities. So how do we avoid them? You want to get rid of something negative, you have to attract something positive. So you keep away these abominable activities by doing devotional service. So the devotional service, if I want to go in, I can list out what is this devotion. This Kasthuri Mataji from day one talking about devotion. How do we actually perform this devotional service? Is it sitting and listening to class like this is devotional service, or sitting or standing and praying in front of Lord Jagannath is devotional service, or we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare? Is this a devotional service? What else? So you're not getting the gist of what is this devotional service. So I will list that out for you, so you know what is it. There's some story coming up after this, and in that consciousness, I'm continuing to reading the verse. In that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. So keep away bad activities by doing devotional service, and in that consciousness, surrender unto the Lord. And those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. Okay, so again, it's repeating that we should not be attached to the fruits of our work. Okay, well, we must work as a service to Krishna, then success is yours. Why we must work for Krishna? All work has karma, isn't it? Karma means action and reaction. I'm sure when I say karma, generally what people will think is karma means bad. Oh, don't do this, is karma. Actually, karma is generally is reaction, and that karma can be good and bad. Oh, now got good karma pula. Okay, I will explain that later. So how doing this work for Krishna will give us success? So are you saying that doing work for Krishna will not give us karma? No good karma, no bad karma? What kind of success we are looking at? So this is what I say we will look at it later. Misers means somebody has possession of over things but does not use it wisely. Okay, because they have the ability to do duty, but they are so attached to the fruits. So, and they are not able to make wise decisions. This is what they mean by misers. Remember the Karpanya Dosho Pahata sloka? Arjuna says, due to my miserly weakness, Arjuna has all material opulence and all material qualifications, but he has attachment to his relatives, his family, but he's not able to make a decision. So that's weakness. Okay. Right. Okay. So we may now see that you are seeing now chapter 2 is opening up more information, more topics, which we can only dive deeper if we patiently wait and see what Krishna is going to explain further in coming days. So you can see in the photos how people are engaged in various works for Krishna. The top one is ISKCON Gurukul Mayapur. This is like a school. This is like it's a school, but here they teach scriptural studies, how to be self-sufficient. They cook on their own. I have visited this Gurukul in Mayapur, and I've seen they sleep on they have a very simple life. They cook most of the food they cook. They cook on their own. These are boys, there are no girls here. They are only boys, and they recite slokas, mantras. They are trained in that line. And then next we have activities like having cow farm. We have cow protection program. We get ahimsa milk. Sometimes we have milk from, what do you call that, the imported milk, because you don't know how they are getting the milk. Sometimes we call it blood milk, because they just simply, what do you call that, Mataji? Karkraning. You get the milk from the cow without feeding them well. So in these such farms, okay, Miss Vidya Mataji, I will come to your question later. I'll try to finish this class. And we have, did I mention about the ahimsa milk? Okay, ahimsa milk and cow protection. So we have this farm in Malaysia. This one is New Gotrama Dharma Lanchang Pahang. It's in Lanchang. Okay, and we make sure that they are fed with fresh grass, not some dairy farms, dairy cows, they are given just grains or unhealthy products. So this is how the work in Krishna consciousness. Okay, work for Krishna. These cows, actually, they are very dear to Krishna. So they are protected here. All those abused or neglected cows, they are brought to this farm and they are given protection. So sometimes you will see that once the cow has no ability to give milk, they will slaughter the cow. They will send for slaughtering. But here we protect the cow until they die, until they go through natural death. The last picture is Kirtan. We glorify Krishna, we sing for him, we read for this. This is also Kirtan. Speaking about him is also Kirtan. Singing, we were singing about on Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that is also Kirtan. Okay, that is glorifying. So I would like to touch 3 main important devotional service I was mentioning, right? O Dhananjaya, keep all abominable activities far distant by devotional service. So what are these devotional service? The devotional service, there are 9. Actually, there are 9. So I'm going to just tell 3. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. Sravanam is hearing. What you all are doing now is Sravanam. You're hearing. That is Sravanam. Everything starts from hearing. Remember, Krishna, he listens first and then only he speaks. Sravana. Kirtanam is what I'm doing now. I'm speaking to you. I'm singing to you. That is Kirtanam. And then after the class ends, you try to recall. You will try to remember whatever we spoke. That is Smaranam, remembrance. Okay, Shravanam is, somebody put in the chat, Shravanam. Listen, very good. Hearing, nice. Kirtanam, singing, speaking, chanting. Yes, correct. Smaranam, reflect, remember. Yes, remember. All right, so these three important that we are doing now. We can do this very easily. So that's about this verse. Okay, we overshoot already. Okay, 2.65. I do not have reciter, I don't have a volunteer, so I will go through this. Prasadi sarva dukhanam hanir asya pajayate prasanna chetaso hyasu buddhi paryavatishtate. For one thus satisfied in Krishna consciousness, the threefold miseries of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is soon well established. So I forgot who asked me that question earlier. So is it wrong for us to work for reward or recognition or pay? I forgot. So I'm going to answer this question here. So the first thing first, you see the threefold miseries of material existence. Now, what are these threefold miseries? They are caused by we are being affected with these three miseries. One is by one's own body, ourselves. Okay, like sometimes you accidentally cut your own finger. So this is a misery that we give ourselves, right? We all do that. And then second is miseries caused by others. It could be other living entities, like other animals, like mosquito bite. Now we are being afflicted by a very, very annoying misery. Can somebody tell me what is it? We are being annoyed by this misery, by this, yes, virus, your virus. And virus is a living entity, so it's giving us so much of miseries. But in that misery, we have a silver lining. I am seeing you, and you have an opportunity to listen. Some of you are working, I understand, but most of us are working from home, so it gives us a great opportunity to learn this. And now, I think today we have received extension up to February 18, isn't it? Yeah, so that's by one's own body, caused by others. It could be a human also, right? Also animals and virus. This is also living entity. Virus also soul, Caused by nature. Third one, caused by nature. For example, anybody can tell me the misery caused by nature? Example of miseries, yes, tsunami, flood, earthquake. Yes, correct. Very good. Thank you so much. So these are the examples of the threefold miseries. So I hope you have learned something new. We have miseries from three ways. Okay, politicians. Yeah, that will be the caused by others. Yes. So actually we have Sanskrit name for that. Own body is Adi Atmika. Next, caused by others is Adi Daivika. And then caused by nature is Adi Bhutika. I hope I'm right, Jayanti Mataji. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so here, look at this picture. We are coming to the question just now. We have these two families. This is the one on the top, the first three pictures. This person's name is Rishikesh Muffat Lal. He's a big industrialist. Please repeat what, Miss Apara? Did you all lose me for a second? Okay, Adi Atmika. Adi Atmika, ATMIK, Adi Atmika, caused by our own self, okay? Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika. Okay. And finally is Adi Daivika. Actually, I will find the correct sequence, okay? I will post it in the group later. So now we are going back to these photos. Oh yeah, Jayanti Mataji has posted the information here. Thank you so much, Mataji. Atmika, Kajai Mataji, Atmika, Atmika. Okay, so you can copy that before it goes disappearing later. Okay, so we are going to these photos again. So these are two families who are wonderful devotees and they are materially successful. Okay, they are materially successful. What I mean by materially successful is they are big industrialists. This Rishikesh Mahafatlal is a big industrialist. And the last picture, the fourth quadrant, if you see, that is Alfred Ford. Anybody knows who's Alfred Ford? Ford, F-O-R-D. Does this name sounds familiar to you? Yes, owner of Ford cars. I think his grandfather or great grandfather is the founder of this Ford business. Yes, Henry Ford, that's grandfather, isn't it? Yeah, so his initiated name is Ambarish Das. So they are also working. They did not stay and not working and go to a forest and do some meditation. They did not do that. They perform their duty. They work. They also are big achievers in normal world. But what do? They engage whatever they learn. They perform the devotional service as part of their life routine. So they're doing their business. We are not looking at people who are renounced like a sage or Muni or some saint. And that's the reason why Krishna did not give a Bhagavad Gita to those people. He gave to a typical householder like us. And these saints, they usually renounce their career. They go to the forest. Yes, we all have different purposes. Okay, agree. So they are not people who have renounced their career. They still have career, business, family, wealth. Rather, these are example of people who are engaging all their talents, engaging all their talents, intelligence, wealth, heart, and mind by engaging in their normal household activity, like I mentioned. But at the same time, keeping Krishna in the center of their life. In that, they find satisfaction. So this is how it is okay to go to work, you earn and then spend some money in some God consciousness work, some work in Krishna consciousness, some work in God's service. So that's what we meant by do not attach to the fruitive activities. You have to do duty. Krishna did not say don't do your duty. Basically, do not be attached to the result. Work on the soul platform. So actually there's a story here, a story about how a person has engaged all his senses in working for Krishna. So remember, I say there are 9 devotion services, and we have one exemplary person from the Puranic stories, how he's a king, and yet he had time to be engaged in all 9 types of devotional services. So the first 3 are, can somebody put all the 3 now? Without looking at the answers earlier. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Shravana, Kirtana, Smaranam. Awesome. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Fantastic memories. So we will go to the last slide for today. So this is a wonderful consciousness. So if you don't know, how do I engage myself in devotional service? So there are so many ways. A sadhu here in this picture, you can see, okay, I go by the picture one by one. Can you see the light, the effulgence? That is actually Sudarshana Chakra. Okay, and the person who's waving to that Sudarshana Chakra is the king that I'm going to talk about, Ambarisha Maharaj, King Ambarisha. And then if you see a sage is falling down on his feet, is touching his feet, this is actually an act of begging forgiveness. So very fast. So King Ambarisha, one day he was fasting Ekadasi. So the usual thing is that when you want to break your Ekadasi the next day, like the Muslims, they break fast, right? You need to break fast between this time to this time. So sometimes the breaking fast time is too short. You need to break fast within the certain duration. Otherwise, your fasting will be considered void. So he was about to break fast. I mean, when the time is nearing, this Durvasa Muni came. If you know the story about Durvasa Muni is a very temperamental Muni. You make him furious, he will curse you into something. That's how the story of Durvasa Muni goes. But Durvasa Muni said, okay, I'm going to come and have breakfast with you. Let's breakfast together. Let's book up pasta together. And then he said, okay, I will bathe and come. So he went to take his bath. But by the time he went and he was outside, the time is nearing to breakfast, finishing. Sometimes you have the sorry, what do you call the muhurta? You need to tie tali, you must get married during this certain period. You need to do that. And sometimes they say, muhurta nali achu, ponnu kuttuvango, all that. So like that, he needs to break fast. But Ambarisha Maharaj was doing full fast. Ekadashi usually on normal circumstances is actually fasting from grains. You don't take rice, noodles, pasta, all those things. But Ambarisha Maharaj was doing full fast, so which means he can actually break fast with water. But breaking the fast with water is considered not breakfast as well. But for him, it's okay. He's still breakfast already. But to wait for Durvasa Muni, it's still okay. But when Durvasa Muni came and he saw King Ambarisha already, had his breakfast, he got so furious. And he got so furious, the Munis, right? They quickly curse you. Oh, I'm gonna curse you to become this and this. So what Durvasa Muni did, he created a demon. He created a demon, and he instructed the demon to go and kill Ambarisha Maharaj. But Ambarisha Maharaj is a Vishnu devotee. He engaged all his senses in Vishnu's service. So Vishnu's weapon is Sudarshana Chakra. Vishnu released the Sudarshana Chakra to go and protect this Ambarisha Maharaj. You kill that demon, the Rakshasa. And so Sudarshana Chakra killed the Rakshasa at once. Okay. After killing the Rakshasa, the Sudarshana Chakra went to the person who released the demon, which is Durvasa Muni. So Durvasa Muni had to run for his life. He was running from planet to planet. He kept running. He went to Lord Brahma. Oh, Lord Brahma, please help me. The Sudarshana Chakra is coming to kill me. First, he went to Lord Shiva. He ran to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva said, no, that I cannot do anything. This one, you go to Lord Brahma. So he will go to Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma say, no, I don't have the control. You go to Lord Vishnu's. Lord Vishnu's chakra. You have to go to him. Then Durvasa Muni will run to Lord Vishnu and he will say, oh, your Sudarshana chakra is coming to kill me. Vishnu say, oh, I'm sorry. The chakra is meant to do its duty because he wants to protect the person who was being affected. So in this case, it was Ambarisha Maharaj. So Ambarisha Maharaj is the only person who can stop the Sudarshana Chakra. So Durvasa Muni ran all the way back to Ambarisha king and he fell on his feet and seek forgiveness. And then Ambarisha Maharaj said, Sudarshana Chakra, please do not do anything. Don't harm him. Okay. So why is this? Why is King Ambarisha is so special that Sudarshana Chakra wants to kill the person who did him wrong? Because Ambarisha Maharaj used all his senses in the service of Krishna, in Krishna consciousness. So here I will read one paragraph. Here you can see how Ambarisha Maharaj has engaged in all 9 devotional services. So King Ambarisha fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, engaged his words in describing the abode of the Lord. That is Kirtana. His hands in cleansing the temple of the Lord. His ears in hearing the pastimes of the Lord. His eyes in seeing the form of the Lord. His body in touching the body of the devotees. His nostrils in smelling the flavor of the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. When you offer flower to the God's pictures in your altar, you can actually take that as prashadam and can sniff. So that is prashadam already, but don't put back in the altar. Okay, sometimes you can put it on your head. Okay, and his tongue in tasting the tulasi leaves offered to him. So this is another way we can cook what we can and offer to Krishna and please him, and we partake that. So we call that prashadam. His legs traveling to the holy places. So some of you have, while we chatter, you said you have gone to this holy place, this holy place. So these are all devotional services where his temples are situated. His head in offering obeisances to the Lord, his desires in fulfilling the desires of the Lord. Whatever Krishna or whatever God wants, he does it. And all this qualification made him fit to become a Matpara devotee, means a top devotee of Krishna. So the all protection will be given one who has surrendered to God, doing everything for God, work in God consciousness. Okay, so that is a little story. So you can see here, if you remember the parrot and the cage story, you are giving food for the body, but you also need to give nourishment to the soul. If you're giving food for your stomach, so how do you feed your soul? That is through the Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. So basically it's Sravana, you hear a lot, lots of hearing. It will cleanse the heart it will feed the soul. Okay, so we have come to the end, and a quick recap. Indecisiveness of Arjuna and surrender to Krishna. Remember the sloka, Karpanya dosho pahata. I'm losing my composure. Please instruct me. I'm confused. And then we went to soul changing bodies. Soul stays in the body until you grow up, you grow old, and then it goes on to another body. So that's how soul changes bodies. And then what is the next thing? Remember the dress? I will give a list of the 9 devotional service in the group later. So I think I owe you a couple of things. Before the reincarnating, remember Dehinosmin Yata Dehi is soul changing bodies from boyhood, youthhood, that verse. After that, it's about the dress. We saw the one handsome guy, remember? Somebody said photo edited. The soul changes, like how the body changes. Dress, remember? Body is a covering like dress. So we are changing the dress. Next, characteristics of soul. Can you all just shoot the character of the soul inside the chat box? Whatever proof, anti what? Unbreakable. You can't break the soul. What else? Can't be burnt by fire. Waterproof, correct. Water resistant, cannot be burnt or moistened by water. Yes, or wind. Everlasting, invisible. Yes. Yes, immutable, inconceivable, invisible, unchanging. Yes, so you got that all right. So I don't know, it might come out in your quiz, I'm not sure. Next, right to perform duties without expecting the fruits. Eternally the same. Yes, thank you, Imana Mataji. Next, avoid abominable activities by working for Krishna. You avoid the negative work and you engage in positive work. Okay, why? A satisfied person is not affected by the threefold miseries. Can tell me soalan bocor? I'm not sure. I'm not telling. I'm not saying it. Saya tak cakap. Okay. Can tell me the threefold miseries? In English will do. Miseries caused by nature, caused by self. One more. Self, nature, others. Got it. Thank you. So we have the right to perform duties without expecting the fruits. Okay, so I'll just go back here in case you want to. Actually, you can take a snapshot here for your recap. You know, sometimes you forget, oh, what did we see? You know, sometimes when you study, right, you just recap. You just have to see some keywords and then everything comes to your mind. Okay, so thank you for those who have placed orders. We are receiving orders now. You can actually, I sent the detail in the group yesterday. It should be there. You can make the payment and then you give the details to me so I can forward to the admins. And then please stay on to do your quiz. Will be sent to our WhatsApp. Please complete it. You can try multiple times. If you think you got it wrong, please look at the slides will be given to you. So please call them correctly. And please, of course, keep the feedback coming in. It really helps us. I hope the audio management is better today with the blessings of Ajit Kajai Mataji. Okay, so this is the address. We are not open anyway. So I have answered some questions already. If you have any questions, because I really overshot, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry if you haven't taken your dinner. So any questions, please post it to me via PM, WhatsApp. I can actually address to you directly, or I can address to you with you tomorrow. Thank you for staying with me. Dinner was food for thought. Still, you need to nourish your stomach, you know. Thank you. So I don't want to keep you all long. If you all need to leave, you can leave. I will wait until everybody goes. Thank you, Bindu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Kajai Mataji. Thank you, Vijay Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Indra Mataji. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you, Indra Mataji. Thank you. Thank you, Shobita Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Good night. Thank you, Shanti Mataji.